Hello and welcome back to SiGMA TV. Joining me here today is the founder, producer, and host of the first business reality TV show here in the Philippines called The Final Pitch on CNN, John Aguilar. It is great to talk to you today.
Hi, Yanni. Nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You are very welcome. I am a fan of your show. Let's talk about your show. Could you tell us the origin of The Final Pitch?
The origin for the final pitch was really born from an idea of connecting entrepreneurs and investors. And over here in the Philippines, there's been a lack of investor confidence just because the startup scene has been hasn't been there for such a long time. It's very nascent industry and sector. And so what we wanted to do was to take what people watch from Shark Tank and apply a little bit more of a challenge component to it. So apart from the pitching, we actually have business challenges that we make our contestants undergo. And all of this is really made to be able to have a more full experience for the contestants. And apart from that, we also introduce mentors to them that help them in their pitches and their businesses. So everything culminates with the final pitch. And that is the Shark Tank moment where we have these investors invest in these startup companies.
Now, the last 5 seasons of The Final Pitch was a huge success. And taking a trip down memory lane, are there any particular businesses that stood out for you the most and why?
Oh, okay, that's a tough question. Businesses that stood out because of the founders, right? There were a lot of great pitches coming from people who knew how to pitch, right? But really, the core of the success the past few seasons has been how these entrepreneurs were able to take what they pitched and actually made it happen, right? So there have been exponential results in terms of some startups and some entrepreneurs coming in and eventually scaling their businesses, tenfold after being part of the show. And so we're really happy with the way things have turned out for, I would say, a minority of the ones that got an investment because, truth be told, not everyone who will get an investment will succeed in the long run, right? I mean, that's a fact. But yeah, we're happy with the results so far, and the first 5 seasons have been very inspiring for a lot of people.
Now, The Final Pitch is currently at its 6th season with the theme Heroes Edition. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so we've always had an open season for the final pitch, and we've always been welcoming. But this time, we felt that we had to really come up with a season that would be relevant in times of COVID. This is the perfect time really to come up with a startup that will be able to, I guess, take advantage of the disadvantages that we have right now as a society, as humans in general. We have been faced with numerous challenges, and we feel that this is the time to come up with the next groundbreaking, revolutionary, disruptive technology or business that will make whoever comes up with that the next multi-billionaire icon of our generation. So I feel that, 2008, we've had Airbnb, Uber come out, and we feel that this is the right time for the next exponential startups to just come out, and we hope that we feel that we can discover these next startups that will be coming from the unfortunate circumstances that we have now. So this is the theme for season 6, which is our Heroes Edition. So we're looking for the next heroes that will be able to give us the startups that we deserve. And these are the startups that we feel that will be able to create an impact, and not just how we are able to go beyond our challenges, but also how to come up with something that we didn't even know that we needed. So I feel that these are the next startups that will be surprising us for the coming years.
And what is the biggest challenge of producing the Heroes Edition of The Final Pitch?
Biggest challenge would be the fact that we can't do everything on site, right? So we've always been, we've always had the judges side by side. We've always had the entrepreneurs pitching right in front of them. That's going to change. It's going to be a hybrid of face to face and at the same time, online, as we're doing now. And the biggest challenge I feel is that as someone who's pitching, it's always a challenge to be able to pitch to someone online, just because it's a little bit impersonal, right? Nothing beats face to face.
John, you have disclosed on CNN wherein Final Pitch goes ASEAN. How's that situation going about amidst the COVID-19? And what is the current status?
Okay. So just this March, I was just about to go on a roadshow across Southeast Asia because we're bringing the final pitch across the region. So the final pitch ASEAN was slated to be filmed by next year. COVID happened, and unfortunately, we will have to push the show back a bit. But we do have plans of expanding regionally. So the final pitch ASEAN is going to involve 6 countries around the region. So there's the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. So we're involving those 6 countries in what will be the first regional business reality show in ASEAN. So yeah, that's going to be the show, and we hope it happens sooner than later because I really feel that we need it. We need to be able to expand regionally, and we feel that the final pitch is something that is of very high relevance in the region, just because everyone's looking at Southeast Asia right now, and the next big startups definitely will be coming from the region.
That is amazing, John. And you are breaking new ground once again with a new show that you're producing called The Venture Builders, which is quite the opposite of the final pitch. And I'm very well aware of this. But for the sake of our audiences, please do tell us more about that.
Venture Builder is quite different in the sense that we won't be working with existing startups. We will actually be building our own startups from the ground up. So what's going to happen is that we're actually on the lookout right now for the executive founders or entrepreneurs in residence. And the ones that we will eventually select, we will be able to give the resources that they will need to be able to launch their own startups in partnership with certain conglomerates that we'll be picking. And the biggest, I guess, challenge would be how we will be able to scale these startups that we build in the Philippines across the region, across Southeast Asia. And that's kind of how the Venture Builder also ties into the final pitch ASEAN, in the sense that we will be using both platforms to be able to launch and scale the startups that we will be building in the Venture Builder. And we've built the physical facility already. It's called Dragon's Nest. It's in Quezon City in Manila. And that's going to be the base of operations of our Venture Builder. If you think Big Brother, so it's kind of going to be like the Big Brother of startups. So we're documenting everything from inception, the idea, getting it pitched to the conglomerates, all the way until the experimentation, and eventually the running, the scaling, and the follow-on funding for the startups.
And lastly, John, what is the biggest piece of advice you could give to entrepreneurs and businesses thriving and surviving in this global crisis?
I guess best advice that I could possibly give entrepreneurs, business people, is that right now it's tough. I mean, we're neck deep in COVID. It's very easy to be, I guess, it's very easy to have a knee-jerk reaction and think, okay, I have to do this now because it is what I need to do now. But let us not forget that after, I guess, a certain sense of normalcy sets in, we still have to look at the future. I mean, if your knee-jerk reaction now is to go hyper local, don't forget to, as in our case, also think of going regional, because I think people tend to have the fear overcome their big plans or their big dreams. It is normal to think of surviving now. Do that, but with also your mindset on, whatever it is that you were thinking of before. It is going to be different, and there are going to be a set of new big challenges that we'll face. But don't ever forget to dream big, because this is just a temporary setback. And I think that after this, we will need big thinkers who will think of crazy ideas again. And that's going to be a day that hopefully will happen sooner rather than later.
John, thank you so much for talking to me today and for sharing your insights with us. I really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you at the SiGMA Manila event on May 2021.
Thank you very much, Shiani. I'll be there. Thanks.
And that is all for myself and John. We'd love to hear how you found this interview, so share your thoughts in the comments below.